will be able to hear me probably, because as soon as I pressed to go live, there are this guy doing something in his garden, but I just trusting that it will be fine and my voice will take over. So welcome my beautiful Insta family, welcome to this live. I am on day 3 of my bleed, so I feel very tender and very emotional, and I didn't plan on hopping on live, you know, this kind of days where you feel like a fucking potato and you like want to cry for everything and you don't even know why. Hormones. But I honor these times, so I'm just seated here on the floor and I'm just taking the sun. And those filters make me look very nice for a potato. I really love it. Hey, my love! Hola, hola! ¿Cómo estás? It's been a long time. So today I wanted to just share, because I was reflecting on my own story and just reflecting back at how far I've come in my journey. And there's a lot of things that came through the past few days that I really want to share, because I think it's just so beautiful. One of the things, and I put the title like feeling the depth of our emotion as a path to liberation, because it is really what it is. It's about self-awareness, being aware of what is alive, what is present within us in each and every moment, without the attachment of the ego to label or to say this is right and this is wrong and this is good and this is bad. And there is still a lot of that, you know, like just be positive and let's enjoy and let's be in pleasure. And I'm all about that, you know that, you know I'm all about that, but I'm also all about into this dark aspect of the feminine, of embracing the pain, embracing the sadness, the grief, the jealousy, the rage, and all those things that we used to label as bad. Because dang, we're just humans and we're here to have this human experience. We're not here to be angelics. Like, we value that so much, right? Like compassion and openness and being so kind and nice and loving and love and light, and you know, transforming our shadows, like I'm holding onto the ball right now, like transforming our shadows into the light. And yeah, but also embracing that we're not gonna always feel good, and by just giving ourselves the permission to drop in and to really feel what has to be felt, the depth of our emotions, when we feel like we can't feel them, otherwise it will kill us. That's where I was 6 months ago. I was calling my friends, me that was super shy to be held, super vulnerable to be held. I couldn't do any other way, so just called my friends and I was like, I need you to hold me, because I'm gonna die if I feel what I feel by myself. And it's the same with joy and pleasure. I'm sure you probably experience it too, where we're like so, oh my god, in so much joy and so much pleasure that we feel like, is it safe for me to feel it?
Affaires, je vais les mettre dans le truc là.
Oh, I'm really happy about it. Tu veux faire coucou au live? Tu veux dire bonjour aux followers?
Bonjour les followers.
Oh boy, that's what I love about going live. You cannot plan what's gonna happen. Hello, Antonella. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. So it's just an invitation. This life today is just an invitation that just in order to have this sense of freedom is like embracing all aspects of us. And it's great. It's easy to accept like the parts that you love about yourself. Like, oh, you know, we're like, oh, I'm having self-doubt around my creativity or my kindness, and poor me. But can you embrace the things that you're really ashamed of, the thing you don't want to show, the thing that you're like, no one has to see that? Can you embrace the anger, the rage that you have? Can you embrace the judgments when you're like rejecting something or someone, just judging them, even though you pretend to be such a spiritual, loving, kind person? Can you do that? Because let's not bullshit ourselves. Like, we can bullshit ourselves so much. I do that all the time. Guilty of that. Guilty of my own bullshit. And then it's like, come on, I'm just human, and it's okay to feel, you know, like for me for a long time it was jealousy. I had the chance to already mention it in my podcast or in a few posts, but I couldn't accept that because I didn't identify as someone jealous. I couldn't accept the jealousy within me. I felt like if I give myself permission to feel how jealous I truly am, especially in a relationship, I'm talking about jealousy in that way, being really jealous with my ex-partner, like really jealous, especially around her exes. Even talking about it, I can still feel the shame, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, if I give myself permission to fully feel it, and like go to the root of it, like what's behind it? Why am I feeling so jealous? Oh, it's because I'm so afraid to lose her. Oh, it's because I'm afraid to die alone if she decides that someone else is better than me. Oh, it's actually because I feel like I'm not good enough. It's because I don't, you know, and just letting yourself go through that, feeling it in the body, because also it's not something that happens here. It's not something that you need to know, like, why am I feeling what I'm feeling? That is not feeling our emotions. That's digging and digging and digging and digging into, oh, there is a bug, a beautiful one, but I got a little scared. It's giving yourself permission to experience it through the body and be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm just breathing through it without attachment, without judgment. I'm just feeling what I feel. Which is, for example, for me, it's easy to feel, hello, gorgeous. How are you? What's alive within you right now? What are you feeling right now? Just being on Instagram on this live. Some emotions are easier to process in our bodies, and others we kind of like reject them and we don't really want to feel them, which is okay as well. It's okay to have that. Everything is welcome, all of it. And that's where you find freedom. That's where you find expansion. That's where you find liberations, because you give yourself permission to be like, whatever is going to come up, I'm going to let it come up. I'm fine. How about you? Well, I'm feeling like a potato on my period, but I'm good. I'm feeling also very tender and very soft. What's alive within me right now? Just happy to be on Instagram. I love talking. I love using my voice. I love being there with you. So yeah, there is so much power into it, and I love to bring people in the experience of themselves, because we spend so much time in our heads, and I'm guilty of that. Oh, now there's my dog after my dad. Oh, baby. Look at her. Ooh. How was going everything? You visited India? Yeah, I visited India. For 2 months. I was there about 3 years ago. Very profound, transformative journey for me. Namaste. So whether it's when I teach yoga, or whether it's with my clients, or even when I host like any events or masterclass, my intention is always to come and feel what it is. So I rarely prepare anything when I'm a guest expert and I know I'm gonna meet a group of people, or when I host my woman circles, or with my coaching clients, which is a bit different. There is a bit of preparation because I know their journeys and there is a deeper support to bring into that. But I love to work with what's alive in the moment, and I feel like a lot of people, they lose that, trying to be, oh my god, I usually use my tripod, and now it's just, and I did a very strong yoga practice this morning, so my shoulders are sore as hell. How many places in India? Gosh, 2 months, and I was moving almost every 3 days. No, not true. I spent 3 weeks in an ashram in the north. I cannot remember the name of the place, I'm so sad. It was really high, like towards the Himalayas, and I don't remember the name of the place. And then I moved to Delhi, and then I went to see the Taj Mahal, and then I went to, don't remember the names. But then I went also to the south, and I was in the southwest, and then in the southeast, and I visited a lot of places. It was beautiful and amazing. Very beautiful journey in India. Very intense for me. Really intense. Backpacking, and oh my god, just so much transformation happened. Because I had a lot of expectations going to India. I was like, since I was a very young girl, I really wanted to go to India. That was like a strong calling. I didn't know why, but it just felt like I wanted to go and explore that beautiful country. And when I got there, I was like, wow, that's intense. That's so much beauty and so much like extremes. It was really intense for me. And so transformative, so beautiful. I met so many beautiful souls traveling to India. Wow. Yeah. Really helped me to find myself as well. But trying to go back, like that's really, today you're just sitting with me, chilling on which day are we? Saturday, chilling on a Saturday with me. And what I wanted to share is that really, when we work with what's alive in the moment, it's just so powerful. When we work with feeling the depth of our feeling, when we are in joy, when we are in pleasure, we also tend to hold back a little bit. Like, what if I fully feel it and then I die? Because it's too intense for my body to take on. I know it for myself. I can only talk from my own experience, but I also have this same mirroring from friends and clients. And truly it's about how deep can you go within, so that you don't need anything, you don't need to think about anything. You can just be present with your emotional body, with what's running through you. And I think it's so beautiful, and that's why I love to guide people through like their bodies. And like, I love when I do an event or a masterclass, there is always a point where we go into movements and embodiment. Like, if I want to feel safe, how can I feel safety? How can I embody it? How does it look in my body? Battery for those lives. So let me go inside to finish what I was saying. Oh, this filter was so intense. Where is it? Okay. beautiful energy in your body. Thank you so much. I receive it. Receive it, receive it, receive it in my heart. So, okay, that is really messy, but you know what? That's the thing. It's like being the embodiment of what I preach. And I love my ladies in my containers, in my space, to embrace all of them, to embrace every aspect of them. Not just the pretty, good looking thing, you know, when I have the really good setup and now I have my fridge and the mess behind me. And I don't care because it doesn't matter. Because what matters is us connecting in that space. And if you're here with me listening to my voice, know that I am so grateful. So grateful to feel you and that you feel me. And there's this exchange of energy because so much happens in the energetics. So yeah, is there places in yourself that you wish you could bring more of that self-acceptance and self-awareness and be like, I can be all of it. I can be all of me. And so I did this beautiful, beautiful masterclass called Inner Alchemy. I'm really proud of it. Really, really proud of it. And it's still available on my website. You can buy the replay. Anyway, no one could attend live anyway, so it's just me. It's just me anyway. And it's such a beautiful practice. I guide you through so much to explore different aspects and different vision of you. And I had this feedback from one of my dearest sister that was into this workshop masterclass, and she told me like, oh my god, that was a roller coaster, but in the good sense. Like she was like, I was so high and I felt this joy and I was laughing and then I was crying, and then because there's just so much that we can feel, and the more we tap into that, the more we feel it for real. And I'm saying it with my beautiful smile and this beautiful filter on Instagram. Trust me, the filter does everything today because I really don't look like that flawless today. But it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It isn't. It is not pretty. When you feel super sad, that your face is swollen, and that your heart is broken by grief, it's not pretty. When you're feeling so jealous, or when you're judgmental and you're bitching about someone else, or when you feel so angry, you feel rage in your body, and you're so mad, and you say and you do things you're proud of. It isn't pretty, but it's important to feel what's underneath, to feel it to the depth of it, because it's so ouch. Just wanting to expand, and I just hurt my little beautiful head. Yeah, I'm super tender today, super ooh, my body hurts and my soul hurts, and I'm here and I'm showing up anyway, because this is an aspect of me that I would have had so much shame to even show up. And I know at the moment, I'm alone right now in the live, and I know that if I press send to post it on my feed, they will be like, oh, but that was not perfect, you were not in your full power, you were not the strong warrior. And I'm like, that's the reason why we're gonna do it, because what is perfection? Perfection is boring as fuck. It doesn't even exist. Or it is already, everything is so perfect. And our little mind sometimes is like, this isn't perfect. This you should work on it. This you should, no. And I'm here on my journey because I did the inner work. So I'm not telling you to not work on yourself, because this is basically my whole life. And this is why I feel so empowered and so aligned in my life today, Hola! Let's today. Oh. Talking about feeling my emotions. Oh my god, this triggers a lot. ¿Cómo estás? Espero que todo está bien para ti, por ti. I don't even know what I was saying. Got so distracted. Just moving with what's alive and present within me right now. So the only reason why I feel so liberated is because at some point I was like, I need to sit with that. I need to sit with the pain. I need to sit with what I feel. I cannot run away from what I feel. And so that's the stepmom of my ex-girlfriend that just logged in into the live. Oh my god. So this triggered again, and how can I still be with it and be the embodiment of what I'm exactly talking about? Like, what does it bring inside of me? A lot of nostalgia, a lot of love as well, and a reminder in my body of like, oh, remember that pain that we went through, remember that grief that broke our heart into pieces. And also allowing myself to feel the pride. I'm really proud of the woman I became because of that grief, because I gave myself permission to go into it. And yeah, I feel called to share a little bit about my story, because I feel like I can talk to you about beautiful concepts, but I can only really talk about my experience and how it can maybe help you on your journey. So this morning I was reaching out to Chelsea. Chelsea was my first coach ever, and we worked on so many things together. It was so beautiful. And I was just closing the window because it's so windy. And she was like, we were reflecting on the journey from like even a year ago. And I was like, I can't believe it. I almost cannot believe it, because this is just mind blowing. Like, when I think about the person that I was, I don't even find words to describe it, because wow, I never thought that I will be where I am right now, ever. And a big part of feeling so aligned is that inner work that I'm so committed to for most of my life now, most of my adult life. And talking about this heartbreak, it took me like one day, not even a day, like I dropped my ex-girlfriend to the train station. And as soon as I came back, it was like a tsunami of pain and grief and brokenness. And I literally felt like I was dying. I've never experienced such a pain in my body. And there was so much resistance to feel it. So much resistance, but I couldn't even resist. You know, when you have no control, like the pain is too big. It's just like an orgasm. It's the same, pain and pleasure. They're really similar. Like, you can have a lot of pleasure and still feel in control. But at the moment when you are in the orgasm, you have no more control. And that was the same, but with pain and grief and feeling broken. And I realized I had all 3 days, day 1, 2, and 3, post breakup. This is where all the lessons came through, all of it. It was like a deep spiritual awakening. Like, I could finally see what I couldn't see for so long. And a lot that came through was how difficult it was to communicate in our relationship. And I could see it and I could feel it and I was frustrated about it. And I was like, but why can't we communicate better? And just talk about the things. Just talk about them. And the reason for that I couldn't see back then, because when you're in it, you're in it. You can't see what you can't see. And the pain is a very big eye-opener when you smash into the wall. Because you're going so fast, you can't see, and then impact. But that impact is what creates that awakening, that deeper sense of consciousness, that higher state of consciousness or deeper awareness of what's really going on. We can't be the same person after feeling a lot of pain and grief and loss. It doesn't have to be a breakup. It can be any other hard time. And that's the same in the opposite with so much pleasure. Like I remember going to Bali and having the best experience of my life, doing my yoga teacher training, meeting my girlfriend, falling in love in Bali with that beautiful Chilean, meeting beautiful people, teaching yoga, being in the most beautiful place, having the most wonderful food cooked with so much love, being surrounded by beauty, and just taking that time away from my whole life and just for myself. And that point of pleasure also changed my life forever. You can't be the same person afterwards. And the more you give yourself permission to feel all of it, to feel all your emotions, the more you will be able to express them. That's what I've learned. I was like, we can't communicate. I'm frustrated. What can we do? And I'm doing the inner work and I'm doing all the things. But there's this thing that is just like, I feel like my voice is not fully expressed. I feel like there's something. And the reason for that was, at least on my end, I was not going to the depth of what I felt. I was not fully accepting myself and my feelings because I wanted to be so perfect. Holy shit, I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to be perfect, the perfect girlfriend. And that was my first relationship with a woman. So I wanted to be a good lesbian. That's so vulnerable to say that out loud. And I wanted to be a good partner because I had a very healthy relationship and I had all these tools, and I'm into spirituality and mindset and self-development, and I have a lot of self-awareness, so I have to be a good partner. I need to be there for her. I need to hold space for her. I need to, I also wanted to be perfect with her family because I wanted her family to love me so much, because I knew how important her family was. So I wanted to be perfect for her family too. So I was not giving myself permission to be broken, to be mad, and it created that distortion in myself, distortion in my body, and just a lot of pain I couldn't see. I just found that something was I was not fully liberated. I was not fully expressed. I was not, but it was good enough. It was good enough. And I was terrified to go and feel what I had to feel. Terrified to feel my jealousy. Ugh. Terrified. So I pretended it was not there. I'm not jealous. It's just that you spend too much time on your phone. Who are you talking with? Do you feel me? Have you ever experienced that? I didn't want to feel judgmental, so I was judging her when she was judgmental. How smart is that? And then I gave myself permission to feel all of it. I didn't really give myself permission. The pain was like, hey, you're gonna have to feel that. Because actually the truth is, like, I dropped her at the train station, came home, and I took a notebook and a pen, and I was like, okay, so I feel so much pain. So I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go within, and I'm gonna heal what I have to heal. Because if that happens, this breakup happened, there is something to be healed that I have been avoiding. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it. So I started listing down, what are my problems? Funny when I think about it. So I was like, okay, attachment and codependency and jealousy and not able to communicate and not able and running away and not being myself fully and being so afraid of losing her, being so afraid of being alone. And I was putting arrows, and I was like, I need a strategy. I need a strategy to heal that. It lasted and then I plugged in on internet, and I looked for podcasts, and I looked for website, and I looked for people specialized in heartbreak and breaking up and how do you heal from heartbreak. And I was like, I have my strategy. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna heal. And then the pain was like, The pain was like, oh babe, you're so cute. You're so cute. Wait for it. You're just gonna have to feel all of this. There is no way through. There is no way out. There is just through. Can't avoid it. Impossible. And then I was knocked down. Completely knocked down. Not able to move, not able to do anything, just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And I never thought I would be able to even talk about it like this and embrace it like this. And I could see the gift in it since day one. It's like I was bullshitting myself for so many months, and suddenly there were no more bullshit. I could see so clearly. And I was like, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been a lot of frustration, I was like, after 1 month, I was like, it's already a month and I'm still feeling so much pain. I'm still crying. And 2 months and 3 months. And then I was like telling my friends, like, I can't believe I'm not over this person and I'm not over this pain after 3 months. Come on, it has been 3 months. And I had the same talk, 5 months, and then 6 months. And I was like, but I also had, caliente! My dad is like with his rosé. You want to say hello to the followers now?
No.
See, say hello.
No followers, no.
Oh gosh. Yeah, good for you. Sexy daddy. And I see you, I know you, all my friends that are into dads. I'm watching you right now. Watching you. Because I know who you are, and you know that I know. So what I was saying is that I came to a point, what helped me to move through that is really to feel out of it. And I'm not saying that I'm an expert of it, There is always first resistance. And then you surrender to what is. This is it. I'm feeling shame. Oh, shame feels so bad in my body. I was so ashamed of my feelings, so ashamed of being stuck, being rejected. Oh my God, and being still in love with someone that doesn't want me. Oh, shame, so much shame. And then I was like, okay, this is shame that we're feeling. Okay, yes, we're still in love with someone that doesn't want us back. Okay, good. It feels really bad in my body. It feels terrible. I feel like I just want to push that away. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel that. I want to feel strong. I want to feel independent. I want to feel like I'm the goddess and the embodiment, and I want to feel sexy, and I want to feel pleasure, and I want to feel like my life is everything, and I'm strong, and that she should regret not having me. The ego. And then surrender. I feel that. It's uncomfortable as fuck. Let's feel it. Let's feel it. This is the power of really, really, really accepting all aspects of you. And every day you discover a new aspect. And can you breathe through it? And can you say, okay, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm perfect the way I am. I'm perfect when I feel like a potato. I'm perfect when I feel chaotic. I'm perfect when I feel like shit. I'm perfect when I feel grief. I'm perfect when I feel pain. I'm perfect when I want to die. I'm perfect when I'm the goddess and the power, and I feel sexy, and I'm tapped into my body, and I accept myself so much, and I'm confident as hell, and I'm aligned as hell, and it's good. But it's okay. All is okay. All is welcome. All parts of you. And what I wanted to share before, and I'm trying to come full circle, just like in my podcast. This friend that did inner alchemy, she's like, oh my God, I discovered that I was, I don't remember what she said exactly, but she was like, I'm the witch, and I'm the magic, and I'm the beauty, and I'm the queen, and I have all those archetypes, and I have also the tender and the softness, and I also have, and she was like, and I realized I can be the 5 of them. And I'm like, babe, 5? You're so much more than 5 facets of you. So much more than that. So much more. So much more. So much more. We are so big. Like, we're so multifaceted. So radical self-acceptance, feeling the depth of our emotions. This is the path to freedom. Because then there's this sense of unattachment. This is what's running through me. I'm going to feel it. In the feeling, I'm going to be present. And I'm going to maybe even amplify it. So if I'm crying, I'm going to cry out loud. I'm going to hear myself crying. If I'm going through rage, I'm going to express it with my voice. I'm going to shoot a pillow. I'm going to go outside in nature and scream my rage. If I'm sad, if I'm in pain, if I'm ashamed, I'm going to feel the shame. I'm going to feel how much I want to crawl down and hide, and how inadequate I feel, and how terrible it sits in my body. I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to surrender to it, knowing that it's just something. It will come and it will go. It will come and it will go. And I don't need to make a story about it in my head. I just have to stay present with what's alive in my body. What's alive right now, cosmic burp, in my body. And that is everything. When you have a little bit more of mastering of this surrender and letting go and accepting and feeling, truly feeling what's alive. Because when you're disconnected from yourself, you can't see it, but there is just like, your life doesn't feel that good, doesn't feel that expansive. You don't really feel liberation. You don't really feel free within yourself. Because your system is constantly trying to repress and to hide, and there is always something going on to remove, to numb, to avoid. So then you blame it on yourself that you're, oh my God, I cannot keep up with my diet. I'm eating so bad at the moment. I'm not taking care of my health. Is it something there that you're not wanting to feel and you're filling the void with food? This is a big one for me. I struggled for so many years with eating disorders. Never really talked about it on my Instagram. because I felt a lot of shame, and I don't feel like I'm on the other side of it yet. You know, when you're also spending so much time watching Netflix, that was a big one for me. I don't do it anymore. I feel on the other side of it. But I was spending so much time in a really long time ago. It was alcohol to numb my feelings and my emotions. I didn't want to feel. So I used alcohol to numb all of it and to party and pretend I'm so cool. I'm drinking every night and it's so funny, and let's get wasted and just we don't care, and YOLO, and we only live once. So yeah, okay, that's also fine. That's part of my story. And then later it was Netflix, but Netflix then was not numbing me enough. I could still feel a lot. So I used smoking. I used to smoke weed. And it was just putting me asleep, completely numbing me. And it's not about the Netflix, it's not about the weed, it's not about the alcohol. I still have alcohol sometimes, not to the point of getting so wasted. Sometimes it happens by accident. Not often though, really not often. But I don't want to bullshit people. I don't want to pretend. And sometimes I had just smoking a little bit to enhance my creativity, and it was using it in a very healthy way. So it's just, everything can become numbing. Everything can become a distraction or an avoidance. And it's not easy to see it, because you can really only see it once you're outside of it and you look back and you're like, I was doing that. But when you're in it, your whole system is busy trying to repress that and to remove that. So you're not gonna easily find what's running through you and what you're not feeling. And that's why you work with coaches and healers and mentors. They grab your hand and they're like, hey, let's go together. We're gonna feel, we're gonna see, we're gonna go to the root of it together. You're not alone. I support you, I love you. We're together in this journey. So a big part of being an awakened goddess is freedom. Like my container, the Awakened Goddess Mentorship, is all about freedom. Creating a freedom for yourself, free from your stories, free from your past, free from the wounds, free from the self-judgment. We are not trying to remove and fix you. I don't fix people, because there is nothing to fix. Absolutely nothing. But there is a lot more awareness to bring, and a lot more acceptance, a lot more love to bring into yourself. A lot of healing. Just healing doesn't mean fixing. And a lot of growth and expansion from that place. Because when your system is not busy avoiding what you have to feel and you're just feeling it, it's just like a kid. You're just becoming a kid again. When you see a child being really angry, he will be angry. And then it will be gone. And then it will be happy. And then it will be sad. But there is not this attachment part. It's not gonna repress it down in the body. So that's why we use the body a lot to feel, because the feelings are in the body. I don't know for how long I've been on this life, but I had so much joy sharing with so much vulnerability, so much openness, and so much like chill. Like I really had a good time, and I hope you had a good time too. If you want to be in my field, if you want to deepen that initiation work of having a sacred place for your growth and your expansion, you have no clue who you could become when you get the proper support. Whether it's me and joining my container, the Awakened Goddess Mentorship, or someone else. You need to find what works for you and what feels good in your body. Again, trusting your intuition and tapping into how it feels. And also there's something about this as well, like growth and expansion usually feels very uncomfortable. It doesn't feel comfortable to grow. It always felt good for me to invest in myself and to take this big leap of joining a container or working with a mentor or a coach or a healer. It was always like, this is scary, I'm uncomfortable, I know I'm gonna be so uncomfortable, but at the same time it felt good in my body. It was like, we are growing, juicy, exciting. So if it's something that you feel also and you want to join the Awakened Goddess Mentorship, spots are filling, so you want to get your place in. It's not something that is going to come back. I don't recycle, because I work with what's alive in the moment, and I took the time to birth this offer that is both a one-on-one coaching and group gathering. We go through so much. We use a lot of embodiment practices. We use a lot of mindset work to shift our perspective, to also do the inner work, the inner healing the inner child, healing the ancestral line. Also unlocking your magic, your gift, your art, your ability to shine, your ability to use your voice, your ability to stand up for yourself, to show up, to feel like, to reclaim your sovereignty, to have better boundaries between what is mine, what do I decide to go, to follow, to trust, and what is not mine. We do so much work in that container, so that at the end of it, at the end of the 3 months, there is a sense of liberation and a sense of like, I'm the embodiment of my higher self. This is it. This is happening. There is no higher self. There is no future self. I am her, 100%. And it's exciting. And it's so cool. If that feels like a full body yes, if that feels expensive, you want to get your spot now. You want to say yes to yourself now. So you take your little fingers, beautiful fingers, and you write me a DM, and I will send you the link. Or we can jump on a call and have a chat, because I also love to connect with you and know what's live for you and if we are a good fit. Because my point is not to sell my program. I don't even call it a program, even though that's what it is. It's a coaching container. It's a coaching program. But I don't call it that way because it doesn't feel good in my body. Because I'm not here to program you, or I'm not here, to follow something. No, it's a container. It's a space where you go and you come to experience yourself. So my point is not to get you in my program if I'm not a good fit for you. I honor your yes, I honor you no, and I know that you are sovereign. So you're already reclaiming your sovereignty even before you enter it. You enter the program. So with that being said, use your fingers for beautiful things like writing me a DM to get in. There is also the Woman Circle coming in June, and something also with the Awakened Goddess Mentorship. When you're in it, you also have access to all my other offers. The masterclass, the Woman Circles, the workshops, all the things that I create. So you have all of it included. Thank you for being with me, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day, filled with a lot of self-awareness and a lot of self-love, loving all parts of yourself, even if you feel like a potato today.